Well, I thought we could do a thing every week where we just update you on. We're doing this thing. It's kind of dumb, but it's actually really fun.
It's fun.
I'm sure people who have played COD Zombies would probably be like, "Oh, you guys are so shit." Like I was watching, just a bit of background viewing the other day. I was watching some guy playing solo on the Giant, and he got to like around like 45 or something by himself. So
wild.
Our goal was to get to around 33.
So when you do that though, when you make it up to a level as high as 45 on zombies. So for those unfamiliar with zombies, it's like the levels tick up each level.
Who the fuck doesn't know zombies?
I don't know. The girlies maybe.
The girlies.
COD Zombies.
Yeah. You got me.
It's like a setting in Call of Duty, and it's just endless. You know,
a setting.
A game mode.
A game mode.
And you know, zombies come. They have rounds. Zombies come each round. You have to kill all the zombies. Every round, more zombies come, and they get stronger and harder to kill.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just a fun thing. You see how high you can get, how like high rounds you can get, and once you start to get to a certain high number of rounds, so many of these damn fuckers come at you to try and kill you.
Yeah.
That you run out of ammo in your gun.
That was our issue last night. I swear it. Because we're trying to get to around 33 because you said that you have a childhood memory of getting to around 32 on Dirt Rise.
Yes, which is now kind of known as the Giant. It's just a map.
It's a remaster of Dirt Rise on Black Ops 3.
Yes. So it's a popular map that is kind of like iconic, I guess, because
it's like that's the third time it's been remastered.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
well,
nuts.
that tells you enough. They keep coming back to that damn thing.
So
when I was a kid, I have this quite fond memory of one night, me and my boys, my homies, playing on Xbox Live, and it was like one of the first times we ever stayed up like really late. You know, we were playing.
Oh, those were the days.
And it was like just us figuring out because we were all had recently got our Xboxes, and it was like new to us and stuff. So
yeah,
we were playing that map, Dead Rise, and we made it up to level 32, all four of us. And I just remember that experience being crazy. You know, we were upgrading our guns. We all had, you know, monkey bombs. We were all running around the map. If you understand what those words mean, then you'll know that that's, you know, impressive.
Right. So we're trying to now.
We're trying to emulate
get to 33.
Trying to beat that record.
And last night we got to 30.
31.
31?
Yeah, it said you survived 31 rounds when we died. So
we were very, very close.
We were extremely close.
But what it did, and I feel like I swear it takes the piss. It stopped. We had no ammo. Both of us had no ammo, and there's nothing we could do.
It gets to a point where
we died, folks.
In a single round, you pretty much, and we had like perks to have 3 guns even.
Yeah, I think you're right about what you were saying last night.
It literally gets you to a point where so many zombies come per round that you have to empty an entire gun worth of ammo, even if it's an upgraded gun. So at the end of every round, when you're that high, you basically have to hit the box and get a new gun or buy a new gun off the wall and then upgrade it.
Pack it, yeah.
And just use it for that round. And then at the end of the round, you got to do it again. You got to get another gun.
I just wonder, like...
Pack punch that.
I wonder sometimes, like, the logistics of the game, because how does it choose when to drop, like, ammo and...
They toy with us, man.
And there's this, like... I don't know if it's, like, a glitch. And, like, the game's so old now, they're not going to patch it. But, like, you'll put a gun back into the mystery box and you'll hit it and it'll come back up. And it's so crazy. And I'm like, is this just like a little glitch or something?
A bad, like, randomizer, yeah.
Because sometimes we'll go time and time again playing rounds where we won't get any kind of, like, Wonder Waffle or like, ray gun. Yesterday, I was getting ray guns galore. And so we both had a ray gun, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We both got a ray gun. That, and then there'll be some weekends when we play and no one gets a ray gun. Last night was such a good time to do it and get it. And I just think if we had ammo, we would have done it, but it just decided not to give us ammo. And it's hard to strategically plan because it's like, how do we don't go into a round being like, okay, let's both get ray guns, because that just might not ever happen.
No, you can't guarantee it.
You can't guarantee it. And we need money to hit the box. Sometimes it's really difficult to hit the box. We could be here till Christmas, maybe Easter next year. Who knows? But we'll get there eventually.
It's a funny endeavor for us to get on, and I think it brings us back a little bit to like our younger years.
100%.
You know, it's
like going back home playing zombie maps.
It's kind of beautiful how meaningless it is. It's like to get to level 33 at the end of the day it's not an achievement. Doesn't mean shit.
What do we do now?
To kids, like when we were kids, it meant a lot, and so it's nice to retread that ground, you know, kind of tap back into our childhoods a little bit.
God, the amount of hours I spent on zombies and the memories I made, it was just the funnest times of my life. It was it never got boring. It was just so fun. It just was. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
It also, I think everyone will always have a soft spot for the kind of shit you did when you were a kid or a teenager, and like you got to live without the weight of adulthood and having to have a job and make a salary and you know, pay bills and all that kind of stuff.
Existed.
Yeah, when you're a teenager, when you're a kid, like you don't think about that stuff. It doesn't weigh on you in the same way that it does when you're an adult. And there's sort of a pureness and like a blissfulness in like going back to a hobby that you had when you could have whatever hobby you wanted, because you weren't stopped by the bills or by a job. Those were the days,
man. I had like the funnest times. The memories. And I'm not really much of a gamer anymore, but I just those were some of the fun. Considering I'm not really a big gamer, like those were some of the funnest times of my life.
There's some things that are just it's the comfort. It's like a comfort treat, you know.
And everyone played, like even if you went to like a family friend's house or like you made a new friend, everyone played zombies.
Cousins or anything you go and
like,
see.
Everyone played it. Like everyone played it and everyone knew all the maps. And I just remember going to like family functions, and we'd always, like, no matter whose house it was, there was always someone playing like zombies in the background.
Yeah.
There was always someone playing.
It was sort of the graduation. It's like, you know, in primary school, all that, it's like you go to find the Mario Kart or like the Nintendo game.
God, I love Mario Kart.
And then when you get into the teenage years, then you go find the Call of Duty or the zombies, you know.
I remember Dad's mate like always getting all the map packs and stuff, and getting, like, I remember playing Call of the Dead for the first time and Ascension for the first time, Shangri-La for the first time, Moon for the first time.
I
remember the first time I ever played Kino. I genuinely do remember the first time I ever played it.
One thing that's funny as well.
Sorry, I bought Quick Revive, and I was like, what is this? I didn't even know what it was.
A perk?
Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
Juggernaut? Yeah.
Yeah, it was so fun. Just the memories, man.
The last thing I'll say that I think is quite funny about this map we've been playing is that, so for those unfamiliar with the zombies genre or the zombies game mode, so when it very first released, it wasn't called zombies, it was called Nazi zombies.
Yeah.
And the Nazi part was a big emphasis, like it was a big part of the game, because the first game zombies appeared in was a World War II setting.
World at War. Yeah.
And so, you know, the enemies from the game's perspective was the Nazis, so it was like, we'll make them Nazi zombies. But what's funny about that is in the original release on like Xbox and everything, there were a lot of like swastikas and everything around the maps. Everywhere. I feel like some of the zombies even had like
they did
swastika on their arm.
Yeah, they did, the patches.
Yeah. And a lot of parts of the map would have swastika imagery in the game. And like now on the remastered versions, it's all gone.
It's still like a Nazi emblem, I think. It's like that weird cross they had.
Yeah, the Iron Cross, I think it's called something like that. Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not really, my Nazi laws a bit. But I do remember Kino being filled with swastikas, and I remember the Giant having, back in the day, it had like swastikas all over the teleporters. Had them on.
It's funny because I guess it's like,
what was. Yeah.
On one side, it's too controversial to have those images, but I guess also probably a lot of people who are now like neo-Nazis or like legitimately into that stuff, you know, they might have been playing the Nazi zombies games and like they were like happy to see the swastikas around, if you know what I'm saying. So it's
I
like,
didn't even know what a swastika was when I first
it's
saw
like
it.
hard to juggle. Yeah, ironically, it was kind of education for me when I was a kid. I was like, oh, if anything, my simple ass kid brain was like, that's the symbol for bad guys because
Yes.
that's what the zombies.
Do you remember Buried?
know?
The map Buried?
I
you
know
go-
the movie Buried with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh god, I remember that.
Yes. I played
It's like
Buried.
the,
It's like
it's
the
like the-
Wild West.
Yeah,
right?
but underground. So
did
fucking
play
cool.
that, yeah.
And you'd have to run through the haunted house, and if the ghost touched you, then you lost like 500 points per time, and the pack-a-punch was in the maze. Just some of the funnest shit.
I love
don't know
how
they
you're
did it.
saying stuff that like there are some people who will be like, what is he on about?
I swear people must know this because it was just such a moment.
It was a moment. It really was.
There
It
was a time where Trout was just releasing maps, and every one of them was like a banger. Like it was just having so much fun. Mob of the Dead.
Call of Duty.
Dude, so fucking great.
The comfort of many teenage boys. God bless. God bless those damn
It was
zombies.
a moment. It was a moment.
It got us through a lot, I'm sure. You know.
And they got me through a lot.
My God, you know. It was I had a moment last night and I was like, these zombies, they've plagued me for so long, but upon reflection, perhaps they're some of my oldest friends.
Did you actually think that?
Yeah, I did a little bit.
Get a bit sentimental?
Yeah, I was like, you know, in these games we fight, but at the end of the day, they've stuck by my side. And so thank you. Thank you, zombies.
It's funny because like we were like wasted last night when we got to round 31.
Yeah, true.
And
We
you'd
were.
think that would make us worse, but I think it does help sometimes to just immerse us a bit more into it.
Yeah, true.
We're a bit
true.
more
Fully into it, baby.
yeah, it's super fun.